What's going on, Internet? Lambo here in the nerdery with another fantastic 3D build, if I don't say so myself. This time, Scenario 26, Ancient Cistern. So, spoiler alert, if you don't want to know what's in the deep sewers underneath the city of Gloomhaven in Scenario 26, don't watch the video. But if you want to see some pretty cool terrain, which I think looks awesome, keep watching. And of course, what would sewers be? What sewers be complete without some cool looking sewer, fog, muck, mist, whatever you call it? Yeah, we got the fog going, multi-layer terrain. So let's go have a look. All right, now you have that really amazing video montage. Let's go into the nitty-gritty of the level here. Overhead obligatory shot of Scenario 26. That's what it's supposed to look like. And you start, according to scenario text, up having swimmed? You did swim through an ancient cistern, and you pop out in the muck. At least that's the way our group came. I think there's another way to do it too. But we popped out through the muck, so I modeled that looking really cool. I added some extra stuff, which I'm going to get into in a second. And then you pop out in this first area, and then you just fight your way through. So this is all Talisman Saber terrain. And this terrain set, I was super excited because I got into 3D printing and stuff for Gloomhaven, partly because I really, really wanted a sewer set. So I built one a long time ago, the first sewer set I built, using totally different terrain. And then when I designed this stuff for our last Kickstarter, and I had yet to make my own set, I just kind of done demo prints and test prints and stuff, but my business partner, Jay, down in Australia, he did up all that terrain for our Kickstarter promotion stuff. So this was my first set. and I was super excited. So I came up with my own cool paint scheme. At least I think it's cool. Going with really digging into like some dark, grimy sewers. All the tiles are resin printed on my Epax X1, so a little bit extra detail. Can you really tell between that and an FDM print? I mean, if you know what you're looking for, yeah, but I wanted resin, so all the tiles, resin. Walls are still FDM though, and they look great. Extra things I've done. So resin water effects in all the water. That's 2-part resin epoxy. It's 5 minutes setting stuff. You can buy it at Walmart. At least that's where I get it. And then mixed with some paint. So it comes out of there. And then what else do we got going on? The doors right there. So I have them popping down. Thematically, there's a ladder there. And then they come down into the main area. And it flows right through. And you got to fight more guys. Popping through the other door there. Into the boss area. Or not boss, but the puzzle area, if you will. And so the other things I've done, you have all of these are stun traps off my sewer set, so they all pop out. If I could just grab it. There you go. So you can pop out the stun traps and swap them with another terrain piece. And you got a little alligator there, which I think is cool. A little tentacle and just a regular hazard tile right there in the middle. And then I designed some specialty pump pieces just for me for this particular level, because the level says, the flavor text says you come in and you have to turn off the pumps based on how many characters you have. So I had 3 characters playing in this one, so 3 pumps got to go off. Oh, geez, sorry, almost lost the camera. So to represent that, I created water tiles with a little spigots inside, and these were my pumps where you had to get to anyways. And then I put all the piping and stuff in this one room. And spoiler alert, if you haven't played this level yet, those pumps spawn every freaking round. And we did not win the first time because of how many black imps, is that called? Black imps kept spawning. We figured it out the second time around. Anyway, and then of course, got my Real FX game mini fogger there. And it, give it a second to start pumping out the fog. I let it just pump the fog right out. And it looks awesome, in my opinion. Definitely not needed, but I mean, that's what that particular wall piece is designed to do, is incorporate a fog machine. So there you go. For all the terrain tiles, I Mod Podged each individual tile in the middle there with glossy Mod Podge. That's what gives it the wet look. So yeah, and I'm actually putting up a full tutorial on how to do this whole paint scheme. If someone wants to follow what I did and paint their sewer tiles like this, I'll throw up a tutorial in a separate video. It'll probably also go up on the business page for Talisman Saber Terrain in the paint series, but it's not going to be like the official Talisman Saber Terrain paint scheme. It's just the Lambo paint scheme, because dang, this was a lot of work. So it's a lot more steps than my normal paint schemes, but I wanted it for this set. Okay, other things I've done. I souped up my terrain with extra bits and pieces. So I went through, I have a ton of Dungeons and Lasers stuff that I got off of a Kickstarter, which was really cool. And I hadn't really done much with it, so I busted it out and went searching through everything and found in these stretch goal boxes some really cool pieces. So the pieces that I've incorporated and customized my own set of terrain are the following. You have these little rats. I threw in these little rats all over. There's one there, there's one there, and there's one there. I glued them onto my terrain, thought that was perfect. There's these little pouring pipes, so I added these little sludge pouring pipes there, sludge pouring pipe there, and then I created another piece over here. Those are also added onto my terrain because I just thought it looked great. And then there's one like dripping sludge thing right there, and I added that on a custom cut to this normal pipe column right there. I just added that one as well. So that was some of those extra pieces. Not to mention all my dungeon dressing, most of my dungeon dressing, like the boxes and stuff. Those are Dungeons and Lasers stuff. I was just getting into finding what I could find. And then into the sludge. Each one of those things, the barrel, the floating box, and the corpse with the rat, if it'll focus, those all come out of the Dungeons and laser stretch goals, and they're designed to be put in like water effects tiles or something. I think it's for their sewer set. I don't know. I use them for mine to create little extra grody gunk floating in the sewers. So that was pretty cool. All right. So from here, I'm going to go mount the camera and we'll have a more stable frame for the rest of this. Okay. So for your monsters. All right. For your monsters in this scenario, we have living corpses. So starting out, we have my trusty old, let's see if it'll focus. These are Reaper Bones, just old school models that I painted up from their old Kickstarter. I think it's their first one. That's the normal ones. And for elites, I like to use from Zombicide, Black Plague, the fatties. Painted them up following Sarastro's well-known paint scheme, I think. And so those are the fatties. Then we got oozes. So these are, I have a whole bunch of these. These are Wrath of Ashardalon. It's an old D&D set. I've got their ooze-like things. I forget what they're called. I'm not going to remember what they're called, but it'll be linked in the description. And then for any spawns, because yeah, oozes divide if you're not tracking that. I have this 3D printed model. These oozy thingies, sludges. These are, I think, are a Rocket Pig Games old print. I'll also link in the description below, but I've got 10 of these as well. So that helps us keep track of who's the spawn so they don't drop coins versus who isn't the spawn that do drop coins. Okay, and then we go into Night Demons, and these are CMON models. So it'll full half focus, there we go. This is called a Dragyri Zephyr from an old game called Dark Age, which I don't believe is in print or anything anymore, so you just gotta, if you can find these online somewhere. But they're come in set of 3, and I think they make cool night demons. And then moving on to the dark imps, black imps. There we go. So these are 3D prints I got off of My Mini Factory. They're called Demon Hounds. The modeler is named, if I get this right, Oshouna Minis, I guess is how you would say that. I don't know. Close enough. I'll link it as well, and then I created my own little numbered printed bases for all of them, 1 through 10. And you're going to need probably all 10, because these things, especially the more characters you have, because these darn things spawn every single round on every live pump. And holy cow, that was annoying. And then for the elites, they're a little bit big for my table. I just thought they looked cool. Plus, I had them. So I picked these up back when Rune Wars, the Fantasy Flight Games, was kind of going out. And they were offering all their minis for way cheap. And so that is a Uthuk Elan Flesh Ripper. It's kind of like their Chaos Demon-y style monster. Big for my terrain. Just barely fits, and I couldn't really do a base to get it to fit. But they represent my elites, and I thought they looked cool. Anyway, that's all the minis I subbed in. Pretty much everything else is Talisman Saber terrain. Maybe like just this chest also is not. That's a 3D print off of a different modeler. But we had the merchant license to sell these at one point. We still do, actually. Anyway, yeah, and then the 3D Gloomhaven coins, which are the metal ones that came from Zephyr. So yeah, that is, let's back up. Scenario 26, Ancient Cistern. I am in love with this sewer terrain, and I'm super stoked to have finally gotten a full set for myself. So anyway, hope you enjoyed it. I'll link to the painting tutorial if you want to know how to paint the way I did for this this terrain set. And yeah, hope to see you around. I've got more scenarios coming up, more builds coming your way. And yeah, as always, happy printing and happy gaming.